All right, it says we're live, and
Yeah.
we've got green on the mics this time. Well, we
Yeah.
had green on the mics.
Yeah, it's still green. All right. So we're running off the Logitech. All right. We're live.
Ish.
Ish.
For certain
Yeah.
certain values of live.
If people can find us.
There's Differs. Differs, can you hear us? She can hear us. All
Yeah,
right.
she can even hear us.
Yes, okay. We've got a bunch of people on the other stream, so let me go get them over here.
Yeah.
Proof of life.
Yeah.
Thought it was good. Can see and hear. Outstanding. We have technology. We can
screw
figure
up
something
technology.
to err as
Three
human.
attempts at a stream. Yes.
To err as human, to really screw things up requires the internet.
Yeah. Thank you, Nancy.
Hello from the future. Okay, so if you would like to today, let's keep the internet going.
Yeah.
Donate here. All donations gratefully received. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
If you like coffee and who doesn't, remembering that we have a second anthology with King Harvest coming out. One of our 24 and 24 that people said we couldn't do.
And since they just got smacked by a hurricane.
You were about to say typhoon, weren't you?
Yeah.
King Harvest Coffee. Once they surface, order coffee from them and let them know you heard about it here. Do not say glub glub, I'm a sub while ordering your coffee. They might not take that well.
Yeah.
If you like Smartass, why did it go dark?
I don't know.
Like Smartass t-shirts, tinyorl.com, Among the Leaves tees. A friend of ours has t-shirts with witty and not so witty sayings.
Yeah.
When you buy a t-shirt from him, let them know you heard about it here.
Congratulations.
Damn it.
Gods. You and your junk drawer.
Don't look at me.
Junk box.
Don't look at me.
Auto exposure blinded by paper. Yeah, that's probably
If that
it.
was the case, my forehead would send the whole thing into fits by now. So,
So we can blame you for last time.
oh, why not?
Folks have no idea what the hell was going on today. Everything checked out fine when we started to do it.
Oh, Jesse, by the way, as soon as we get done here, Jim is getting on the road up to your neck of the woods. You might want to find a place to stick some good food in him because he am grouchy.
Yes.
He am grouchy. So stick some good food in him.
I got to deal with a VA at 8 o'clock in the morning. And Miggy didn't think my blood pressure was high enough. So he sent me a follow-up from Tuesday from an ex-post from John Conrad. Says, I interviewed a female veteran who is a serving officer who served as an officer on U.S. Navy ships about this incident. She shared an intriguing perspective I've never heard. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. She said that it took men centuries and thousands of shipwrecks to master commanding ships without major incidents. And we should expect some losses as women who think differently learn the ropes and gain experience to doing it their way. That. She said losses are to be expected and they're okay, especially if there's no loss of life. She said we should not try to investigate this from a male perspective, but learn lessons from a female perspective. Conrad says, I did not include this in the article because I couldn't figure out how to present it without sparking a DEI firestorm.
Bitch, get off my gender.
And there we have the actual female perspective.
That's I've been on the bridge of more than one ship, not military, but I've been on the bridge of ships. And I don't remember any technology on that bridge that checked my plumbing.
Nope.
And it's large amount of steel, odd water, go. There's nothing gendered about that.
No.
I mean, it's not a male female thing. It's a take a large amount of steel that doesn't want to float in a large amount of water that hates the steel,
Yeah.
and get from point A to point B.
On that, we do call all ships she.
Unless you're Russian and they're he's.
Yeah.
But
Keep water outside the steel. Yes,
don't- I
that is
don't-
important.
it's
just the latest excuse.
there's no male way of looking at getting from point A to point B that's different from the female way of looking at getting from point A to point B.
The thing just does what it does.
It's the C. She's a bitch. It's
Idiot with a different excuse.
the C. The C is a bitch who wants to kill you.
Yes.
The C is a schizophrenic bipolar bitch. We love her and she wants to kill us.
As
boats-
anybody who's ever been to sea on a ship knows.
I was born on an island. I've lived within 50 miles of the sea for the first 18 years of my life.
Yeah.
There's nothing gendered about getting a ship from point A to point B without sinking it. Nothing.
Doesn't care.
No,
Nope.
ship doesn't care. The sea doesn't care. Anyway, so
God, that's embarrassing. Get off my ship.
John is the one that, before we got started, said, "Be light and cheerful today."
Moving on.
Yeah. Moving on.
McMurtry is a Gaelic word. That's a series of Gaelic words. Mac is clan of or children of. Muir is sea, and is chieftain or lord. So McMurtry's are sons of the Sea Lord, Sea King, which I personally think there's a couple of Vikings in the family tree.
Yeah. Think.
The traditional thing is that the clan ancestors were navigators, or sea masters, or navigators on ships. I think it was Vikings because I know my inner. I know me. It's Vikings.
The berserker comes out occasionally. Yes.
And McMurtry's do trace our line back to the five kings of Dalriada. So sea is in my blood.
Yeah.
I do love the sea. I was telling John earlier I miss the smell of the sea. I do. I wake up smelling it sometimes, and it hurts.
You know what my main name is? Goad. As in cattle prod.
So I do love the sea, but I understand the sea.
Not going there. Not even going there.
I was born in Malta. I grew up in a lot of port cities. I understand the sea. Yes, and I went Army. It was a rough period of my life. Plus, I like being able to walk if there's a problem. I want to be able to walk home. But that being said, I've been on a lot of ships. I've been on a lot of GoPlats. I've been on a lot of ships. I've been in a lot of ports. There is nothing at all these days gendered about crewing a ship.
Nope.
Now, in the good old days, where everything was done with elbow grease and sweat, yeah, you didn't want women you don't send women aloft to furl a mainsail.
Well, unless they're damn strong.
Even then,
Yeah.
She was damn strong. So,
just don't send women. I mean, but
not a normal thing.
now we're in the 21st century. There's nothing gendered about steering a ship
No.
or commanding a ship.
Nope. One of the best female COs that I saw was down in Australia. She actually had one of the oldest destroyers that Australia had,
You probably loved it.
and loved it, and outperformed the guys,
I bet.
and enjoyed rubbing it in their noses.
Well, there are a lot of things on ships that do require knuckle dragging.
Well,
A lot of things.
but the first rule on a ship is you always keep one hand for yourself.
Hmm.
You never use both hands to carry or do anything.
Not that she wanna smack off a bulkhead.
Yeah, you want to smack off a bulkhead or go down a ladder. And oh, by the way, they are ladders; they are not stairs.
But the ships these days require smarts more than brawn. They're still. I mean, if you want to cut an anchor loose, you really need brawn.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's smarts. And the women, little darlings, have just as much smarts as we do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, and if you go back far enough, even in the British days, British uh, warships usually had a female on board.
Really?
Usually it was the CO's wife. And
Are we talking age of sail?
Yes,
Eh,
yes,
Not
Okay.
unusual.
because her job was to take care of the midshipmen who were 10, 12 years old.
There were a couple of women privateers.
Yeah,
Oh,
and there
there-
were women privateers.
there
yeah.
were some good women. There were some outstanding women privateers.
So anyway, moving on. The Army, speaking of Army,
Speaking of Army, God bless Big Green.
says soldiers should avoid eating anything with poppy seeds over drug testing concerns.
Only 30 years late.
But this has been around for
This is the
friggin'
Army.
ever.
Oh my God, if you eat poppy seeds, you might fail a drug test, which we've known since the 80s, 90s.
Yes, Chester Nimitz ran a ship, ran a destroyer aground. Still made 4 stars. Yeah.
Well, it's also during wartime when things are a little looser.
No, he did that before the war.
Yeah, but he made 4 stars in wartime.
Yeah.
When you could let little faux pas like that slip.
Well,
Oops.
Oopsie.
I laughed at a friend of mine. He was, Jesus.
That must have been interesting.
Oh, the friends I have, I wonder about sometimes.
Sometimes I wonder about
Sitting
them.
here.
I wonder about them all the time.
You say you're sitting right here.
But he was one of the last class to go through the destroyer school for the U.S. Navy. And he said, we beat the hell out of the piers at 32nd Street with destroyers. Because one of the things they did in destroyer school was they had to moor and unmoor without tugboats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Park that thing. So
Now, that may not seem like much,
Oh, it seems like a lot to me.
but 32nd Street, down at the far end, all the piers run basically 90 degrees into the shore.
Okay.
There's this thing called current and called tides.
Mhm.
So depending on which side of the pier you were trying to moor to, it would either push you down on the pier
Clang. Or push you away from the
or
boat.
push you away from the pier. So he, yeah, Ray, you got to eat a lot of poppy seeds. Yeah,
Mythbusters tested. It's true, but you have to eat improbable amount of poppy seeds. It's the Army.
it's the Army. So he was the CO of a cruiser. That was his last command. And came down the throat to 32nd Street, and there was not a tug there to meet him.
Okay.
And he went, yeah, okay.
oops.
Well, it'll be a half an hour. And he says, I have the con. We're going to the pier. And he said all of J.O.'s eyes got about, like, oh my God, what are we?
Helm hard over. Clang.
Well, he was reversing pitch on the props, dropping the forward anchor, nuzzled it right up against the pier with the tide going out. And he was on the left side of the pier, nuzzled it right up against the pier, shut down engines and said, and turned around. He said, there were about half of the officers were on the bridge looking at him.
You're watching.
Yeah.
Not a good time to screw up.
And he said,
Knowing your ship.
he turned around and looked at him and went, gentlemen, that is how you do it. And he said he turned around, walked off the bridge, and went, fuck.
Yeah, you gotta know your ship.
Gail McMillan was a friend of ours.
Yeah.
McMillan Rifles. McMillan
Yeah,
Firearms.
yeah.
He built really high-end sniper rifles. And we knew him on the firing line.
Oh, yeah.
He told a story one time. He built the 50 caliber sniper rifles, and he was trying to sell them to Saudi Arabia. And
Oh God, yes, I remember this.
and so he's out there and he's showing them, and they're not all that impressed. You know, it's like, oh wow, you're a big boom. And then a prince shows up and points out a something. I think it was an armored personnel carrier, almost a mile away.
Yeah.
And says, if you can hit that, I'll buy 1,000 of or some improbable number. And Gail went, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm not selling it anyway.
Yeah.
So he lined up on it, squeezed off the trigger, and he was disassembling the rifle. He was halfway through disassembling when it hit.
Yeah.
Because there was no way he could do that again.
Yeah.
So he pulled the trigger and then just started taking the rifle and putting the rifle. Clang!
And the Saudis bought them.
And Saudis bought his rifles.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick, the throttleman got some aerobic workout. Third forward, 2/3 back on the starboard. Yeah,
Hard over.
yeah, with both. Now it's actually easier than that.
I'm just making noises.
But it was again the years of practice
Mhm.
and actually doing it. There was one submarine CO that parked one on the bottom of the Cooper River off of Charleston because he didn't want to endanger a tug with a hurricane coming in. So he basically told the tug to go away, said they were not coming pierside. He was just going to sit in the river. And he basically submerged in the river and maintained off the end of the pier until the hurricane, which was Hugo, went over. And he surfaced
I'm
and
not sure I've been comfortable doing that
drove into the pier.
because I'm not sure I'd be comfortable doing that.
No, he was a pretty good CO.
I guess. I would like to point out that I was talking to John earlier. Apparently, Racketeer Press is 25 books into 25 anthos into this year. I'd just like to point that out there.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. Yes, he did. Reverse docking with the USS Lexington CV2. Yeah.
So we're in October, and I promised to do 24 books in 24. We're in October with 2 months left to go, and we've got 25 books out.
We'll have 25% at the end of the year. We have closed our last call for 2025 for though.
And as the editor for Space Cowboys, I have an issue.
You can echo the concerns of our other editorial team.
If it's supposed to be Space Cowboys, where are the fucking cowboys in the story?
They're with the werewolves.
I haven't found one of those. Well,
Yet.
Be careful.
yeah, never
Now-
mind.
Now that you said that,
Yeah. No, they've got it done, Jesse.
Yep.
It's
we're 25 books in.
but yeah, editing is
Jim's learning.
I got your editing.
I have a new text range of mine. Wears a white Stetson.
Yeah, Doug, you did send one in with a cowboy in it, but it's too damn short.
Is it a good story?
Yeah, it's a good story. It's
It's a good story. We'll take it.
It's a little short. We'll talk.
We'll talk.
I-
Don't give it away. Hints.
I'm just okay. Texas Rangers wear silver belly hats.
Yes.
Um,
Tell people what that means.
silver belly hats are the silver gray hats. They're not white. They're silver belly.
Yeah.
And it's a requirement. Texas Rangers have to wear silver belly hats with cattleman crowns.
Yep.
Of course, in the future, who knows?
Yeah.
But one of the things that set my teeth on edge about Walker Texas Ranger was that fucking black hat of his.
Yeah.
That set my teeth on edge.
That was counter to every piece of lore and everything else.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yes, they are Stetsons.
With silver belly with cattleman crease.
Yep.
How many Space Cowboy story submissions involve hurting
No.
alien cat girls?
No,
There's only one of those, Eric.
no, we don't talk about how many submissions we got.
Oh no. No,
No, there were-
we don't discuss the number of submissions till afterwards.
There was one that did involve cats.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody was trying.
Very true.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't talk about how many we get anymore because people get all morose thinking
Yeah.
that they don't get a chance.
Yeah.
We just don't even talk about it.
If you went for Pogue 1 with a true story, Pogue, great. Let Mike know.
Yeah, there is a reason that they normally give you a bookend of numbers to write to. That's
Yeah.
why most anthologies are going to tell you 5,000 to 8,000 words.
I ran across one publishing house today that wants 4 to 6.
Yeah.
It's like,
But everybody's different.
wow.
Hey, Sanford.
I have noticed activity in the last 90 days in sales of my KDP books. Is anyone seeing? Okay. Now, Amazon's having issues.
Yeah.
This last week, 2 weeks ago,
Well,
They
just
bricked
like
something.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
They messed up something with the new releases. Right?
yeah, on new releases, they bricked their new release algorithms.
Yeah.
And if you released a book in about the last 72, 96 hours, it dropped off of new releases. It just went away.
Also dropped out of all the categories.
And all your categories went away. We've got the issue. Chris Kennedy Publishing has the issue. Canon's got it. It's Amazon borked a puppy somewhere. They're bringing it back, but if you're having issues, it's an Amazon thing.
Yeah.
And in July, they had their yearly brick.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all realize Amazon takes the summer to update their programs, and inevitably they brick something
Oh, yeah.
every year.
At least one thing, if not more.
This year they went above and beyond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a massive when Super Generation came out. We had a big correction in sales because
Yeah.
there was no Kindle reporting for 2 full days.
Yep.
So
And our Maginot 2 took it in the shorts. We got screwed hard on that one by Amazon.
Yeah.
It disappeared for almost a week.
Well, they also linked 2 wrong books together. And
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they cross-linked Maginot 1 and Maginot 2. And they just woof, it got damn.
Padre, if you're writing 2,000 word stories, you want a minimum book length of about 60,000 words.
For an Anto? Yeah, about that.
Yeah, for a collection, you want 60.
Yeah, you want
80
60.
to 75.
Yeah. So
You're going to need 30 stories.
you're going to need a bunch of stories. Larry Lambert did that with a bunch of his short stories, and he's doing fairly well with it.
If you pad scenes and have decent conversations,
Yeah.
decent dialogue, you can bump it to 5,000 pretty easily.
Yeah.
Do they eventually report accurate numbers? They just lose the data. They eventually report accurate numbers, but you're balked in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Because they don't give you don't get the boost.
Yeah, you never get that ranking back.
No, you never get the boost because if you're in the top 3 and top 5 and top 10, you have boost algorithm.
Yeah.
Now,
If you're out, you don't get it.
they actually killed us on a #1 on science fiction anthologies because we sold enough for Super Generation to be #1. We were sitting at #2. We kicked Andy Weir and Jemison out, and then the Kindle reporting disappeared.
Yeah.
And our sales would have had us. We've
A
got
significant
orange
boost.
tag at the top of science fiction anthologies, which
Yeah.
was really annoying.
Yeah, it
So,
was.
Ugh. Crazy making.
Yeah, you get the numbers, you just don't get the boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a guy. He popped up in our Substack saying that 3,000 words where we have 3,000 because 5,000 was just a little long.
Yeah, no.
Everybody's different. That's
It's if you pad your scenes and work on your dialogue, 5,000 is easy. I've never had somebody tell me that 5,000 was too big of a target. 5,000 words is too big of a target to hit.
I have problems keeping them under 8,000.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
I mean, the one that I just did for the library anthology came in at 13,000, and I had to cut basically 5,000 words out of that.
And we got folks like John Van Stry that try for a 5,000 word short and wind up with a trilogy of novels.
Yep, twice.
Well, there's in Q or silent. All except the first. Yeah, a lot of times the short stories, a lot of the new people, the new authors I get when they'll send me a short story that's 3-4K, and they can't, I just can't write. I don't have anything else in there. Yeah, you do. Your scenes are too damn sparse. You said whenever you get one that's 3K, 4K, most of the time they've left out some shadowing that really could have been in there. They've pared down their conversations dialogue way too much.
Yeah.
They haven't described when you're showing and not telling. If you're telling, you get 3K words. If you're showing, you get 6K.
Yeah. The other thing
It takes more words to show than it does to tell.
people have problems writing dialogue.
Oh yeah.
A lot of new authors have problems writing dialogue. And, for what it's worth, write your dialogue like you talk.
You always should.
Yeah.
I would leave out the hey James. I would leave out the folksy accents.
Yeah.
Unless you're good at it,
Which is really hate our copy editor.
or you hate a copy editor. I would leave out the folksy accents.
Well, now I'm going to take the opposite. That sometimes, that's the way I differentiate
Yes,
characters
but
sometimes.
I'm here to tell you that your Cajun accents in your books are not the true Cajun accent either. It's enough the flavor, but
Yeah.
it ain't the
Well,
because half the Cajun words out there, when actual Cajuns are talking, you can't understand.
yeah, true.
He does enough for the accent, but not for the full, gumbo, so to speak.
That Tiffy breaks a good point. If your head hurts writing it, stop. Yes.
When I do pigeon accents, African pigeon, I don't, I do enough of it so you get the flavor,
Yeah.
and you get the tone.
Yeah.
But the Americans, hell, most Europeans aren't. If I write a full line of pigeon dialogue, people are not going to understand it. One of the better dialogues, if you've seen the movie Blood Diamond,
Mm-hmm.
where DiCaprio is negotiating for guns with the RUF leader at the beginning before he gets busted with the diamonds. That line of pigeon dialogue is great. Americans don't understand it.
Yeah.
I understood it, but it's accents, and when you're working, it's not necessarily accents. When you're working with language,
Yeah, any kind of languages. That's, the classic case is Dancing with Wolves.
Yeah.
That story was supposed to originally taken place in Oklahoma. It got moved to Montana because money changed hands. And Costner needed to say something in the Indian language. Well, the only person that was fluent that was around was a female. So she taught him the spiel that he had to say.
but it's a gendered language.
It's a gendered language.
Yep.
So any Indian that saw the movie died laughing because here is Costner,
Obviously male,
speaking in female dialect.
Well, not only that, but words in dialects like Pidgin or Cajun, Creole, some words you have to understand the backstory.
Yeah.
You have to be part of the culture, understand the backstory.
Yeah.
Um, and that just it throws your reader out.
Yeah.
Don't I tell people don't go for the full Creole or Pidgin. Don't do it. Put enough in there for for the the taste of it.
Yeah.
But not so much you confuse your reader.
And the other thing is, a lot of times you can simply misspell words to give a hint of the accent.
Mhm.
You know, you can do a German accent by rather than what, VAT, VAT. Now, was ist los?
Yeah, boss. Yeah, and you know it's be careful when you're doing accents and dialects, and if you're writing for a primary Creole audience, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out. If you're writing for mainstream America, pump the brakes on your Creole, guys.
Differs. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with being dyslexic. First of all, let me say that. I have known naval officers that were dyslexic with numbers. Needless to say, they were not aviators because that's when they found out that they were dyslexic. But misspellings are going to happen. I don't think I have ever read a novel that did not have a misspelling in it, including some of the best, supposedly best novels out there. They all have misspellings.
I don't pay my copy editors enough. I really don't.
Well,
Good
you can't
God.
because,
I'm broke.
well, everything is going to have errors.
Hmm.
I don't care how many people look at it.
Oh yeah.
I have 20 or 21 people look at every one of my books. And inevitably, I get a set of corrections
Oh, I've got.
within the first week.
I am here to tell you there is a foolproof way to find all of the misspellings in your manuscript.
Yeah, publish the son
You
of a
hit
bitch.
publish.
Yeah.
So you hit publish. Shit, they pop up. There it is.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But I do go back in and correct the misspellings, if they're actually misspellings.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it on purpose.
Yeah, and that's something we were having a discussion in a company thing this morning. There was a story somebody had used April 31st as a date.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out if it was an actual error or if it was being used as a plot point or a way to show the mystical elements.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being sarcastic and say February 30th,
Yeah.
I do that for there's that'll get done,
Or
Monday.
Station 8.5 in Hogwarts.
that'll happen Monday, February 30th. That's a deliberate misuse of the language. It was on purpose.
Exactly right. That right there is a perfect German accent for writing. Yeah, I think much, especially when I am making the boom boom. That could be German, that could be French,
That could be South African.
Russian. Depends on how you lay it out.
Now, if you're trying to differentiate between a German and a South African accent, for instance, you can throw in a couple of words distinct to that language.
Yeah.
That the reader can suss out with a little effort. Don't make them go find a dictionary, but if they can suss out the word, and it gives the that flavor.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portino. Ringo's accent, yeah. That's a good example.
in cases they have a character use them. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, little
Mona Lisa.
sister. There she is. Yes.
The fucking wrench, yes.
Pig pocking wrench. The learning your craft is, and I hate to tell you this, you haven't learned it. There are still things you can learn about the art and craft of writing. I don't care who you are, how big you are. There's still things you can learn. I learn stuff. I'm not that good. I learn stuff every day. Who the hell is Monica?
Greg says we have a German neighbor growing up. You haven't been yelled at in German. You haven't been yelled at.
And that's saying good morning.
Yeah.
No,
Mona Lisa has done a lot of work with cases and characters, and she has a number of very, very good presentations up on those on her Substack.
Substack. And she generally, several cons we into Mona Lisa, my duct tape little sister, will be teaching a class.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, folks, those classes are worth going to. She's a hell of an instructor.
Yep.
She really is. Good instructor. And she honestly wants to help you get better. So go to her Substack, read her stuff there. If you can go to a con that she's teaching a class at, go take the class. You'll come out learning something.
If nothing else, sit down and talk with her. She'll talk to you.
She looks a little stabby most of the time, but she's actually a sweet lady. She really is. Get her a White Russian, she'll be fine. She'll just walk up, hand her a White Russian, you're good. And she is really brilliant at the art and craft of writing.
Yes.
So, yeah, of all the people we know, she's one of the better ones. If she says, I hate to say this, if she says you're doing it wrong, I'm probably doing it wrong. She's one of the few people who say, Ian, you did this wrong. I'll go, shit.
Yeah.
When it comes to writing, other stuff.
Yeah.
And she tells me I'm breaching a door wrong. It's like,
yeah.
Well, we'll see. But if I'm writing a scene wrong, she goes, Ian, you wrote the scene wrong. Damn it.
Yeah. But we all write differently. So that's yeah. Yeah, we'd never do that. Yeah. All right. Sure, Mona Lisa. When you get on a roll, lady.
I am very, very fond of her.
And we have seen her on a roll more than once.
I've seen her liquored up on a roll in your living room.
Yes. No. More than once. The three of y'all got together. We were trying to figure out who was going to take over the world.
I was sitting over in a chair laughing my ass off because holy gods.
Yeah. Yes.
What, tying up Mona Lisa? Yeah. I posted that Jonna was tying up Mona Lisa at, what was it, 2 Liberty Cons ago?
Oh, it was Liberty Con, yeah. She had that great leather dress. We're trying to get the lacing on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I spend most of my conventions tying up beautiful women. So
I posted on Facebook that Jonna was tying up Mona Lisa, and it was like, where?
Yeah.
Damn,
Hey,
guys,
Jim.
ain't that big. Hey, Jim.
Dove hunting season's over, so now you're back in the real world, huh?
I'm not sure.
starts Sunday, doesn't it?
I'm not sure that dove hunting isn't the real world.
Yeah, well, he had a post up that he was done with duck season, or dove season, so it's time to move on.
We didn't get a lot of. Well, I noticed we didn't get a lot of dove through here.
No, I think
This
they
year.
shot them all before they got here.
Usually our telephone lines about August 31st
Yeah, start filling up.
are just loaded down with doves because Owl Park is a bird sanctuary and doves ain't dumb.
Oh.
This year they weren't. So open and he's closed.
Yeah.
He's Jim Anders is leading or is guiding a sandhill crane hunt later on in the year that I think I'm gonna try and get in on that next year because it was mentioned and I started looking up recipes for sandhill crane.
Yeah.
And apparently I have been missing out. Apparently sandhill crane is really good. I've been missing out. Of course, I think pheasant's good. People look at me like I'm crazy.
Steak of the skies. Yep.
Ribeye of the sky, apparently. Ian, who did the picture of Papa Gumbo skull face paint recent Substack? I believe that was Sarah Clitheroe.
Your best with the
No, on my Bad Night in Fallstown short.
I'll
I think Sarah.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's pretty damn close to.
it's a good. Sarah's a hell of a.
Yeah.
That was for
Not
those of
quite
you.
as big as Brian. But
I
close.
don't know if he's on here. Brian Nad, his character of Magnus Papa Gumbo was what
Yeah.
kicked that short story loose. Um,
And it is a character he plays every Halloween.
yeah, I mean, damn good. Alpha Gel. Oh, Alpha Gal. Oh, I'm so sorry. For those of you who don't know, Alpha Gal, and this is a bad thing. It's a Texas thing. We have a tick here in Texas that the part of the what they inject when they bite triggers a immune response to beef.
Yeah.
So basically, you become allergic to beef,
Have fun, James.
which is
Yeah, it's Sarah.
it was Sarah. It was Sarah Clitheroe that did the Magnus Papa Gumbo. But the you basically it's a full on allergy to beef.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a worse thing to happen to me anyway. Yeah. I think it's the Lone Star tick. They need to die.
Yeah.
They need to get wiped off the face of the earth because anything that makes me allergic to beef is bad.
It's only for beef, Padre. Chicken and turkey are okay.
If it bites you and you have the whatever it injects has protein similar enough to something in beef that you basically become sensitized to beef.
Ew, I didn't realize that, John. It's got all the way to Maryland. Damn.
Oh. Apparently, mammal meat. Tex Sparks Wildlife told me it was just beef, but it wouldn't surprise me. However, apparently, alpha galactose only lasts a few years. Oh, thank God, because last I heard it was permanent, and I'm just bad. Gator is good eating. Okay. Gator done right is good eating. Gator done right tastes, as I told somebody and read it into giggle fits. Gator done right, it tastes a lot like veal without the guilt.
Yeah.
Gator can be good if done right. Gator has to be done right. If it's done wrong, it tastes like
mud, basically.
It does taste like mud with the consistency of tire rubber.
Yeah.
Hurricane Sky Gator tenderized on the drop. Has anybody seen that picture?
Yeah.
That picture coming out of Florida in the aftermath of the hurricane, and there's a gator about 10 feet up tumbling, where apparently what a big gator.
Yeah.
Apparently it got blown.
So I was watching the feed last night on the Ryan Hall on YouTube, and he has all these little spare weather guys that pop in. He says, Skywalk pops in and goes, Ryan, I just saw a barrel fly by at the speed of Mach Jesus. So they were hilarious. So they were very punch drunk after 9 hours, but they were fun to watch.
So the one guy that went back into his house and met the gator in the hallway.
Like, hello. So,
for those of you who don't know, in the Law Dog universe, there are 2 speeds that are important. The first speed is Mach Turtle. Mach Turtle means you are not moving very fast at all. Mach Jesus, on the other hand, means you are getting it.
Yeah.
How about emu meat? Emu meat's good. Again, done right.
Yeah.
I hate to tell y'all this. If you are eating exotic meats or wild game, you need to learn how to do it right. Venison done right is delectable. Most people don't do it right.
Yeah. And if you get a deer in rut, especially a deer in rut,
A buck in rut.
buck in rut that runs, it is going to be 14 kinds of gaming.
yeah.
So you basically have to brine that sucker in milk. Bear done wrong tastes like toxic waste dump.
So,
Bear is okay.
bear can be tasty, but
Bear
really,
can be.
if they don't eat nasty shit.
Yeah.
Speaking
Don't
of
eat
that,
fish.
I got like a poundage of venison left, that Tully brought me from the last hunt. So we should
Really?
probably do something with that.
Yes, we should.
So
Ooh.
we can dig that out of my freezer.
I will be happy to make some chili out of that.
Oh, we should do that.
Yeah.
Most game meat can be good, but if you're raised, if all you've known for meat has been Walmart chicken,
Yeah.
that's not a good. You don't have a good basis for comparison. Nothing about mock fuck. Okay, mock fuck's in there too, but we don't use it a lot. Mock Jesus is much more family friendly.
Yes, Suburban Vance gets rid of the yuck, and it brings it down to where it's edible.
The best deer that I ever got, the best deer I ever had was a buck. He wasn't real old, and he'd been living in Berry Patch. And the way we got him was he was a bit of a nerd and was about 15 yards away from our stand.
Yeah.
And Reno hit him with a 12 gauge slug at 15 yards that punched his entire heart out the far side of his chest.
Oh yeah.
And he just fell over. I try to get my deer when their heads are down and they're browsing, because they're surprised. They don't know you're there.
Yep.
And if their heads are down and they don't know you're there and you thump them, they tend to fall a lot quicker.
Yeah.
If their heads are up and they're wary, they run a lot more. Omnivore meat can be problematic. Yes. If you get a bear that's been eating salmon,
Yeah.
you got dog food.
Yeah, you want one that's been eating berries.
If you want to been eating berries, where Jim and I used to hunt, and may hunt again, I'm not sure, where we used to hunt, a lot of mast. Mast is the stuff that falls off trees. Acorns, persimmons, wild plums, and the deer in that area fatten up on acorns, persimmons, wild plums, apples, that sort of thing, and they taste very good.
RK, I was not talking about brining kidneys in milk. I was talking about brining backstrap or shoulder, something like that.
Jim likes to brine the meat.
Yeah.
If I've got to brine it, we got issues.
Yeah.
I don't eat predators. If in Africa predators are parasite ridden,
Yeah.
I it's probably perfectly okay. I just have these old ingrained
today
reflexes.
you got to worry now about brucellosis here.
That sucks.
So
I will say that an elk that's been chewing on your plum tree tastes really great with plum sauce.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Which one found out in my yard?
Ow! Oh! I've discovered a new hot sauce that I'm going to. I've discovered a new hot sauce. Tabanero, which is one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
It is it's a boutique. It's a boutique hot sauce. It has habaneros, but it's got a lot more other stuff, carrots and fruit and other stuff. So it's not that hot. It's enough that it's a hot sauce, but it's not that hot. They have a new one out called Black Cherry. You hear that from the back? The Black Cherry is a black cherry, basically jam base, and then they add the habanero, habanero has this lovely citrusy brightness. So they add the black cherry, they add the normal habanero. This is really sweet.
Yeah.
So I am going to thump a pig, and because I think a black cherry based hot sauce on pig tenderloin would probably be the bee's knees.
very probably could
I
be.
really do.
Yeah, that could work out nicely.
I do not have a Nomex ton. I don't like a lot of heat. Okay.
Habanero is not that hot. That is correct.
Hobs can be warm. If you're eating them off the tree, they're freaking hot.
Yeah.
Most of your sauces, and if most of the boutique sauces that use hobs are going for heat, because for some reason the boutique hot sauce industry is all about heat.
Yeah.
Just don't. There's no flavor to it. But Tabanero is really good about going for the taste of the habaneros and not and with enough of heat, you know it's there. Um, yeah, heat over flavor is a failure. I've been screaming this to the in everything. Been screaming this to the heavens for how long? You know me. Chilies. If I'm making a chili, I do not go for heat over flavor. Um, I went to way too many chili cook-offs where the one that won was the one that burnt the judges the worst.
Yeah.
And I don't do that. Flavor is eating should not be a
Painful.
eating should not be painful. It's not
Yeah.
masochistic. I was brought up in an old culture where the host has certain responsibilities. And one of the responsibilities is making sure everybody can eat your food.
Yeah.
Because if you have somebody can't eat your food, you have failed as a host. You have disgraced yourself. Post the name. Tabanero. T-A-B is in boy A-N-E-R-O. Tabanero.
It's available on the Walmart website.
Walmart's got it. It's got its own webpage. And hot sauces are designed to enhance the flavor of foods. And we've had this discussion.
Yes, more than once.
Hot sauces, the acid and salt are both flavor brighteners, flavor enhancers. That's the main reason. You don't know this, but that's the main reason most people add hot sauce to their food. Is the salt and the acidity is what enhances the flavor of your food.
Yep.
The burn and the taste is just a pleasant side effect. Should be a pleasant side effect.
Yeah.
Not
the oh my God, I'm gonna die.
No, and it shouldn't. I am so ashamed. If the first time I fed Dorothy and she couldn't eat my chili, I was so ashamed. Somebody had come to my house or where I was eating my food and couldn't eat. That's shameful. That really is.
That was when we found out how little tolerance she had.
Yeah, she had a Midwestern tolerance.
She has now built that up considerably.
No kidding. I accidentally served a chili the other night that was at the level that I had served her the first, and she couldn't eat it. She didn't even slow down. She was talking to other people and probably it's like
and didn't even have to put sour cream in it.
Didn't. Oh, the first couple of years, she drowned everything I made in sour cream. And Tabanero, the ordinary Tabanero is a good all around sauce. It really is. Mild. It's a little complex for some stuff.
Yeah.
I am a much of Jim and I are kind of hot sauce snobs. Certain hot sauces go on certain things.
Yeah.
That's just certain things. Chicken soup requires Cholula or this lovely little jalapeno sauce I just found.
Yeah.
But stuff like Tabanero goes on beef. Fried chicken, that crimson that Bravado Spice Company used to have. I think it's called ancho garlic now.
Yeah.
Is for fried chicken is lovely.
Or peri peri.
Peri peri. Nando's peri peri is great for chicken.
Yeah.
I drives Rita nuts. I've got 5 or 6 hot sauces in the fridge. It's like, I'm doing chicken soup. And it's like, baby, where's the hot sauce? And she'll bring me. So it's like, wrong hot sauce.
Yeah.
It's all hot sauce. No, baby, it's not. It really isn't.
Differs, I'm sure that was quite the learning experience. New England tongue to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hopefully you did not go to La Fonda and get the hot salsa the first time you went there.
Woo! Chewy's.
Tiger sauce. Hell yes.
Tiger sauce is good. I prefer, we've got some over there.
We used to have. I don't know if we
No,
still
not
do.
tiger sauce. The stuff on the for meat pies, tiger sauce or pickle pepper. For meat pies, pickle pepper or tiger sauce is great. Tabanero. Tartar sauce is for meat pies, but honest God, pick up is better. That's a personal thing. That's a personal. Where was I? I was waxing really enthusiastic.
Yeah. And on that note, we've wasted another hour of time.
Holy crap, we have.
Yeah.
Again, Jim is about to kick rocks and light a fire for north of here. So Hatch Green Mild is such a lovely flavor.
Yes.
It's still Hatch Green Mild is still my go-to. If I'm feeding a large group of people, Hatch Green Mild is my go-to
Yeah.
level of heat.
Speaking of which, I got Hatch chilies.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I got them when they smoked them, and they are milder this year than last year.
Somebody here didn't realize the Hatch come in two different varieties. Mild.
Oh, I realized it.
He got the spiky.
No, I got the mild. What they said was mild.
It was spiky.
It was spiky.
It was hotter than hell.
I hate to think what the spiky was.
No kidding, right?
Woof. Sometimes that mild is hot. Yes, that was exactly what happened.
Tabasco Chipotle is a fantastic all around. If you can only have one hot sauce, well, if you had to have two, it would be a standard Louisiana, either Tabasco or Crystal. Tabasco's a little better. Crystal's okay. That's a fermented mash, lots of salt.
Yeah.
And a base Chipotle. If you only had to have two, that's what I'd get.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for Chipotle, but that's personal. Anyway,
I love Chipotle.
Remember,
done right.
Remember, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Have a good weekend. Be safe.
We'll see you Tuesday.
Yep. And hopefully with less technical issues next week.
Be safe, guys. Sorry, I got off on a pepper